Hello, everyone. We are learning L5R with the Gauntlet tonight. So we are trying the Fantasy Flight Games edition of Legend of the Five Rings with the Gauntlet, and game is organized by the Gauntlet community, and as such, it's subjected to the Gauntlet inclusivity policies. We also have an open table, so if at any moment you need to drop out, feel free to do so. We are running the scenario included on the starter box of the game, in which our samurai, well, soon to be samurai, are traveling their way to the village of Tsuma, where they will perform their Genpoku rites, in which they will be recognized as adults. So let's start by introducing each of our players and their characters. Let's go to order of the character keepers. So let's start with you, Pavel.
Hello, I'm Pavel, and I am playing. Let me just find and scroll to the character name. Bayushi Kyo. I looked at the character because it's like a starting character. It doesn't say what gender they are, so I think I pick that they are the male because it's hard to guess it, and all the photos are with the mask. So Kyo is from the school of Soshuro Infiltrator, although to everyone else he is just learning to be. I think the proper name is like Soshuro Actor School, and this is like something super hidden, not existing Soshuro Infiltrator. He has been spying on his classmates and sneaking and learning their secrets. But he's also trained in the arts of being sort of like a courtier / shinobi, but because shinobi don't exist. It's like ninja, come on, like not that they don't exist. And yeah, and he's traveling here to learn some secrets about a man that his cousin is going to wed or something like this, and also to expose if there are some other scorpions hiding at the site. And besides that, to also take part in the competition. A lot of responsibilities for just a kid.
Okay, and next, Josh, why don't you introduce your dragon clan?
Yes, of course. So I'm Josh. I use he/him pronouns. And I will be playing Tagashi Yoshi, who is a tattooed monk of the Dragon Clan. So Tagashi Yoshi was surrendered to the Tagashi Order as an orphan, and he was raised in this monastic tradition until he had a relationship. A relationship developed with another student that was living at this monastic place. And when that was discovered, the other student was sent to a different monastery, and Tagashi was shuffled away into a different section as a sort of making sure he kept on the straight and narrow. And recently, the champion of the Dragon Clan, which he is technically a member of, as that is the monastery that adopted him is a dragon monastery. So the champion of the Dragon Clan, Tagashi Yokuni, informed Tagashi Yoshi that he was being sent to participate in the Topaz Championship, which is not conventional for monks to participate. But as the champion of the clan ordered it, Tagashi has to go. So he's here to participate for the greater service of the clan.
So I guess that for both of you, this is the first time that you left your clan lands, maybe even your family lands. So as you travel across the empire, you probably have to make the longest journey, Yoshi. So, as you left your homeland in the mountains and you descended across the empire, what is the thing that fascinates and surprises you most from what you see as you go from village to village and across cities in the early spring?
So, having grown up and lived most of his life in this single monastery, uh, when Yoshi first started going on pilgrimages, and especially now that he has to make this long journey, the thing that has sort of stuck out to him most, and it's a question that he's asked mentors at the monastery before, and he's never gotten an answer that he is really satisfied with, is why is there this rift in status between members of the samurai class and the peasantry? When from the outside perspective of someone traveling through these lands, it doesn't seem like there's any inherent difference between these people, and which is a risky position for Yoshi to take, since a sect of the monastic tradition called the Perfect Order that has sort of espoused the perfect land that has espoused these beliefs was banned recently. So it's sort of something that he has been struggling with, but it's also something that he's been having to keep to himself.
And how about Kyo? Which has surprised them most after they started interacting regularly with people of different clans and living Scorpion lands? What customs they encountered that really strike them as odd compared to those of growing up in Scorpion lands, but they do not necessarily dislike these customs.
Oh man, such a tough lore question. I had no idea. So where are we even going? Like to which clan lands?
Crane Clan lands.
To the Crane.
Yeah. So you travel through unaligned lands for a long bit. So you see a lot of the life beyond the actual frontiers of the clan. So you pretty much could see a vast diversity of customs, things that do not exactly match proper samurai society or even your expectations. So, what is one thing that you've seen and you actually like it? Yeah, you see yourself enjoying that.
I think Kyo for the first time has seen like mastering an army. Maybe when he was like traveling through the Lion Lands, he probably has seen how the army is trained, and because Scorpions do have an army, but it's like somewhere out of the sight usually, most of the time, and lions are just like proudly walking, shouting, showing off their army, and since he really wants to live in a society where deception is not needed, but currently he knows he isn't. He really likes it. He like looks at the lions and says, "Yeah, that could be a nice, simple life." Unlike him, sneaking in the shadows and spying on other people. So yeah, he likes this.
So perhaps it's this desire to have a life in the open under the sun that you pretty much you meet on one of the imperial inns that are pretty much one day apart across the imperial road on your way to Tsuma, and you end up spending one night under the same inn, and you realize that you're traveling in the same direction and you are the same name, and you still don't carry the daisho that marks you as adult. So you realize that you must be going for the same event. So you quickly decide, well, scorpions and dragons do not have the most hostile of relationships. Not like the dragons have much of a relationship with anyone, but yeah, we can be good companions for a voyage, and you end up traveling together the last stretch of the way. So So why don't you, Yoshi, tell me something that you have heard about the scorpions? It does not have to be true. It just have to be something that Yoshi learned about the scorpions growing up.
Yeah, of course. I think that Yoshi has heard that the scorpions are hmm, what's a good thing here? I think that Yoshi has heard that the scorpions are sort of dishonorable in this religious fashion. He growing up isolated in this dragon monastery, all of the other clans were just sort of lambasted for not being observant enough, almost. So I think that that's sort of he's heard that he's heard that these scorpion are particularly irreligious.
And how about Kaya? What was one thing that they heard about the dragon?
I think that the dragons are mysteriously rumored to have to be flying and not merely walking on the earth and breathing fire, and so yeah, he's a little bit surprised to see that Yoshi is not yet flying there, but hey, maybe it's like you need to be a proper adult to fly, At least that was presented to him in the theater that he has seen. So yeah.
So as you're making your slow approach to Tsuma, you so basically you wait. You reach the borders of the territory that is demarcated by the Tangu River. So the village sprouts on the sides of the river. There is this small river port, and you can see that a lot of the contestants have probably arrived here by ship. And the road is still a bit of muddy because of the spring rains, and you can see the freshly planted, flooded fields of rice to one side, the river to another, and you have the thin stretch of the road as you approach the village. But there seems to be an obstacle. There seems to be a car side turned, and you see an elderly peasant sweating heavily as they try to calm down their horse and upturn along the car. But it seems that it's a bit of much of a task for a single person alone. And the moment that the peasant notices that you are arriving, it just bows down on its feet, its their head pressed to the dust. Honored samurai, 1,000 pardons for blocking your path. I'll move the cart directly as soon as possible. I beg your pardon for blocking the road.
Yes, please do that. We must pass.
Yoshi steps forward and he says, "Stand up, farmer. Stand up. Help me move this cart. We must get through."
Please, I heard much about the generosity of the samurai of the Dragon Clan. I am very thankful, honored samurai. And working together, you actually make quite easy work of the cart. I mean, it's not hard, it's not that heavy. It's just that there are just limits to what someone can do with two hands. And the man seems quite pleased. And you can see that the cargo that he's carrying is not what they expect first is to be some trade or farm goods. But close inspection, you can see that the man is not a merchant and does not have the bearing of a farmer either. And most of the cargo seems to be documents, piles and piles of scrolls.
Who do you carry these scrolls for?
Oh, Honored Samurai, I was a servant of the Emerald Champion, and I'm carrying these belongings to his family because his family has not received most of those and instead have entrusted them to Kakita Toshimoku, his brother-in-law. So I was told to empty the belongings from his castle and take them here. That was the last duty that I have to perform on his behalf.
And he's speaking. Yeah, I think he wonders what he's talking about. Is this like some political figure he's talking about?
Yeah, Kinyo quickly pierces two things. That the Emerald Champion is basically it's the prime minister of the country. It's the only person below the emperor, and in fact is given full reign of the government and does not have to answer to anyone. I mean, at least in terms of day-to-day business. Of course, if he upsets the emperor, he has to answer directly. And apparently, what he mentioned is that Doji Satsume has recently died because there's no other way that they will be taking things from his castle.
Is it like public knowledge that Doji Satsume has died?
Not really. It must have happened recently while you were on your voyage, so you have not heard.
This definitely piques interest in Kia, and he says, but clearly, if you're carrying possessions, if you're delivering this possession of Doji Satsuma, like, what happened?
My master has died. It was a few weeks away, and unfortunately, there is no current Emerald Champion. I'm sure that will be decided later this year, but nonetheless, we have to start to empty his position, and none of his children wanted to accept these documents.
Did he pass away on natural causes, or and Kyo just like leaves the ending not finished?
Yeah, you see that the peasant does not want to get involved in gossip, but he basically seems to be agreeing that yes, it is said that it was natural causes, and nobody is saying anything. But of course, Doji Satsume was renowned for being a harsh Emerald champion, so he was not exactly well loved, but he was competent. So, but it's a bit weird because he was relatively young and healthy, so it will be a bit weird. But winters can be harsh on everyone.
I don't think that Yoshi is a naturally very suspicious person, having this upbringing. I mean, he nods, seems like, well, it is an honorable deed that you do for your former master. I wish you luck on delivering these.
As you are doing that, a page seems to fly from the card, and the wind drags it directly against your chest, Yoshi. And
yeah.
Yeah, and the peasant is looking at you as if expecting to see what you do.
So it's a scroll. Is it sealed or is it just?
It's just open. It's just a piece of paper open. Scattered.
I would pick them up and I would hand them over. But I guess if there's anything that's like glaringly visible, I would notice it.
Yeah, you can see that it's a letter and a relatively one to you. And you can see that it was written by the Emerald Champion, Doji Satsume. And the message seems to be quite brusque, honestly. You can see by the calligraphy. And seems to be some sort of admonishment of the recipient of the letter, exactly the person that should be getting this card, the writer's brother-in-law, Kakita Toshimoku. And the letter reads, "You have often told me you are a better father to my children than I am. I can only hope the fortunes bless you or curse you with children of your own one day, so that you could see the true challenges of fatherhood."
And is just to confirm, sorry, is that brother-in-law the one who this cart is going to?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it seems suspicious, but I don't know if there's anything that I can really do, just talking to this servant.
Yeah.
So I suppose I hand back the letter and I make a little
thanks,
note.
Honor Samurai. I would be disgraced if anything of my master was lost. That can be very important information for the state of the empire here. I will not want to see it misplaced.
Of course. Yeah, I give it back. I don't.
So the way is open, so you might proceed at any moment towards Tsuma, or you can linger around with the peasant any longer if you want.
Let us be on our way, Togashi-san. We have still some trouble to do, and the sooner we get there, the more rest we will have before the tournament.
Indeed. It would be good to familiarize ourselves with Tsuma before the others arrive, hopefully.
Yeah, you enter Tsuma and it's buzzing with activity, and you can see both peasants and samurai alike. They are taking the best to celebrate this occasion, which honestly it's the it's exactly what gives fame and name to their village. So it's a matter of local pride. So the peasants bow and wait for you to pass, but the adult samurai just don't even give you a second glance. And you can see streamers on trees, paper lanterns in the collars and the sigils of the great clans. You can see carved kites flying around, and you can hear the distant sound of glass chimes. This is the Topaz Championship, and the entire town is celebrating it. And you can easily find your way towards your inn, the House of the Laughing Carp, which is a mixed inn and tea house, which supposedly most of the contestants will be. And you know that your clan champions have reserved rooms for you there. But it's still pretty early, and you still have time to explore the town if you want.
Mm,
Let's see. Let me pull up this map. Where?
maybe let's. I'm not sure what's your plan, Togashi-san. I think I would travel to the inn, get ready, and rest a little bit after the muddy travel, and then maybe take a walk around the village.
That sounds like a good way to spend our first day in Tsuma. It would be good to get our things out of the way at the House of the Laughing Carp.
What's the name of it? The House of Laughing Cart?
Carp.
Carp.
Yeah, so you make your way, and as you are crossing into the courtyard of the inn, you can hear shoutings from the inside. This is unacceptable! You can hear the voice of a young man, still dusty from the road. And you see that they are wearing clothes that you don't immediately recognize. These sea green attire and a lot of very rugged. You can be pretty sure that he's wearing leather, to be precise. It seems to be shark leather. Yeah, it seems to be a samurai of probably from one of the minor clans, because if this is no guard that not even a unicorn will be wearing. And he seems to be screaming with the innkeeper. But the peasant woman is completely implacable and is just listening as he goes on, nodding slightly, head low. But she seems to be adamant. Forgive me, honored samurai. All my rooms are spoken for. If I should give you a room, it would mean that other honorable samurai would be without a room. And I don't see why I should do that to cause such grievance to a samurai of the great clan that took the effort to book in advance. Perhaps you could try another boarding house. The young man seems exasperated. I went across the town. All of them are full for the festival. And I had the room bookmarked. You must have a room for me. At this, the woman just ignores the man and turns to you and bows. Ah, honored guests of the scorpion and the dragon. I've been waiting for you. Please let me take you for your rooms. And the other samurai seems to be completely at loss, looking between you and the woman. Like, what do I do?
Is he already a samurai? Does he have like a daisho or?
No. He does not have a daisho.
I want to ask, what is your name, samurai? Who are you?
Oh, Togashi-sama. My name is. No, I'm forgetting his name. Wait. My name is Hitoshi. I am a samurai of the Mantis clan. And he points to the mon on his breast, which I don't know if you would recognize or not. So, but you can see that clearly he is not still a full samurai, but he must be attending the Topaz Championship, which is very weird by itself. Usually, only members of the great clans send people to the Topaz Championship. It's very difficult for a minor clan samurai to get an invitation. So someone would have to sponsor him.
A pleasure to meet you, Itoshi-san. I am Bayushi Kyo. Are you here to participate in the Topaz Championship as well?
Yes, I am, but there seems to have been some confusion. I don't have a room at the inn. I thought that everything had been properly attended.
Well, Togashi, do you say something?
Well, Hitoshi, if you are willing to hold yourself accountable, I have a room. You can stay with me.
Yeah, so this is going to be quite simple. So you only need to make a simple courtesy hurt difficulty 1 check to convince both the innkeeper and Itoshi that this would be proper. So you assemble a pool of dice, you add a number of white dice equal to your skill and a number of black dice equal to the element of your approach. So in this case, you're going to add your courtesy, which is
0.
Okay, so 0 white dice, and you will add your earth black dice.
So I have 3 black dice.
Okay, so you have 3 black dice. Good odds. So you're gonna roll BBBB.
Yep.
Well, just and you can keep up to 3 dice. So to read the dice, so you have a success, which is what you need, and you have an opportunity, which is basically bonus effects that you can get, and you also get 1 strife. Basically, strife means that any emotional that has been caused during the action that you're trying to perform. So how this bickering is making well, first we need to know what you keep, but probably going to keep all of them, right?
Yeah, I'm going to keep all.
Yeah. So before we go to the opportunities, how is Yoshi feeling seeing arriving at the inn and finding all these bickering for what turns out had such an easy solution?
I suppose that he thinks it's a little ridiculous, that some part of his brain he wants to laugh a little bit about how foolish they had been. So he does not break, obviously, because he only has the 1 strife. But
yeah.
He finds their trouble with this situation funny, and that's his emotional response to it.
Yeah. So how you gonna use that? So basically you can use advantage opportunities to get an additional advantage. For example, you can remove strife, for example, on a 1-by-1, so you can really gain no strife, or you can try to reassure other characters so that they would lose strife, Or you can, for example, because this is Earth, you can reduce dangers that would arise from this task. And another suggestion would be, for example, that you could, what it is, yeah. Basically, you could increase the next social check difficulty made against you, for example. Or you can just establish a small detail of the fiction. So
Yeah. I'm going to clear that strife that I took.
okay, yeah. So you don't even get any strife. You get this. You get a bit frustrated, but then you immediately find it funny and reassure yourself, yeah, that's fine. So the situation seems to calm down, and Itoshi just bows thankful at you, and the innkeeper just disappears in the back and gets the servants to guide you. I am very grateful for your generosity, Togashi-sama.
It is no trouble. I'm used to austere living.
No, that must be hard. I'm also used to have to inhabit cramped spaces in ships, so I assure you that I'm going to be a good roommate. So after you are allowed to install yourselves, you meet at the common room, and you find that there are also pretty much all the other contestants are here, and you can see a Phoenix boy that seems to be studying something. You can see another dragon. This one seems to be a Mirumoto, and it's a very large girl with broad shoulders, and it has a very tan skin. Then you see what seemed to be a crane, a member of the Kakita family, known for their duelists, and she has half of her hair dyed white, and it has it braided, so it goes black, white, black, white, black, white. You also see a member of the lion, which seems to be a priest, curiously, and seems to be quite nervous and is not mingling with the rest of the contestants. You also see a pretty braggacious female unicorn of the Moto clan that seems to be drinking from something from a leather pouch instead of the drinks that are being offered on the inn. You also see another scorpion, and this seems to be covering a red mask that covers only the left side of her face. And she seems to be especially focused on the crane girl. And lastly, we see a crab, a member of the trading Yasuki family, that seems to be trying to organize some kind of drinking game and going around with songs.
Yeah, I think that Kyo is like really interested in the other scorpion in the room. So he would walk to the scorpion. Do I see, because I think it's her? Yes.
Yeah.
Kia would politely look at her kimono to see what family emblem does she represent.
She's a cousin. She is a Bayushi.
Good day to you, Bayushi-san. It's a It's a pleasure to find a familiar face such far away from our lands.
She gives you a half smile, because that's the smile that she can give. And my name is Bayushi Mailin. I was not aware that another member of our family had made it to the competition. This certainly makes the odds in our favor. I'm pretty sure that the next Topaz champion will be a Scorpion.
I'm sure of that as well. With two of us in the competition, we are having a lot of chances to bring glory and honor to our clan.
Well, so how do you find the rest of the competition? Have you found whoever might give you the most trouble? And at that, she looks again at the crane girl, as I've indicated that she has found who she plans to best and the biggest obstacle for her victory.
I think Kyo slightly smiles politely and says, "Oh, I have just arrived. I have to meet the others to know who will be my biggest competition as of yet. Do we know? Are we aware, or like what are the competitions about? Because I have no idea."
Actually, it's quite well documented. So this is information that you can get easily. So you have it divided on 3 days. So on the first day, we have heraldry, athletics, horseback riding, and conduct. So after that, on the second day, we have weaponry, poetry, law, go, and archery, and hunting. So you are tested on these different skills that a member of the samurai caste is supposed to have. And then there is the most important event. So you are supposed to get enough points in the other things to qualify for the final event. The final event is where the crowds come to see, which is the dueling competition. This is why this is organized in the lands of the Kikita family, right in front of the dueling academy. So then you are supposed to best each other on a duel, and the winner of that is often the Topaz champion. Not always. Sometimes people do so poorly on the other events that even if they do well on the last one, they only manage to pass the graduation, but not to win the Topaz Championship. But pretty much half of the competition is getting to the duels and to win at the end.
Can you write somewhere her name, or just like it was Bayushi? Bayushi Mailin. Mailin-san, I see you are having your eyes on the definitely biggest and the most worthy opponent to best Akakita participant right in front of his. No, it's also a girl to best Akakita. I'm looking for a word for like the person who attended the school. Pupil, not
protege,
right in front of her dojo. That's quite an achievement. Meanwhile, I wish you all the best, and I'm going to mingle and meet the others.
Good luck. I will be willing to discuss the rest of the competition if you have more insights to share. And she retreats for her observation.
Of course.
And how about Yoshi? So what is Yoshi doing among these people?
Yeah. You said that one of them was trying to organize a drinking competition.
Yes, the crab is organizing a drinking competition.
Yoshi sees no better way to unwind at the end of a long journey from Dragonlands than to engage in some friendly sport.
So Yazuki Jun, he's quite willing to share some of the drinking songs of the crab, and this seems to be one of the few moments in which, since you relieved him from his troubles, that Hitoshi seems to be at ease and smiling because he starts sharing some of the sailing songs of the mantis. So, what drinking song do you bring to the table from the Dragon Club?
So I think that uh, in the monastery there is a just sort of like a among the students in the monastery, certainly there is a party culture. So probably a lot of Yoshi's experience with drinking, having fun, has been sort of on the down low. So I think what he probably knows are actually like the peasant songs from the villages nearby the monastery. So he's singing some very like out of character for a samurai stuff, because that's where the students at the monastery go to get away from the monks.
Yeah, as you start singing that song, you seem to catch the stare from the Mirumoto. And the large girl joins you and starts singing along you with the song. And you seem also surprisingly that she also knows the peasant song quite well.
Yoshi introduces himself. He says, I see you know this song. I didn't expect a samurai to understand it.
She seems to be thinking for a moment if you were trying to offend her, as if this is the sort of things that she had to think lately as she traveled here. But because you're a Togashi, she just shrugs. Yeah, my name is Inata. Yeah, I used it to sing this song a lot growing up, and many others like that. They're good songs. They teach a lot, and they make the day of hard work pass in a glimpse.
Were you uh, Tagashi? Yoshi has he sort of catches the hint that she might have been more, I I don't know how like the structure of this is working, but it seems like the inference is that she was at one point a peasant, um, which certainly Yoshi would get, and probably not point out because it seems like it'd be very rude. So, I think he notices it and he files it away, but he just sort of keeps small talking as he passes the night.
So, anything that you two want to do before retreating for the day?
I wonder. Nothing particularly comes to my mind, except for maybe I think he knows that in like more physical performance, he may be lacking behind, like because the other competitions are from like more like fighting or oriented school. So he would like to like get a feel on who is his biggest opponent in like what he's strong at, like like performance games, who he should try to like maybe incriminate before the competition, or somehow to just score well in his strong areas.
Uh, so why don't hmm. Pa, 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 pa. You get a feeling that as you see through the night, as they start going from drinking and singing to games, you can see that the crab Yasuki Chun is quite good at games. It seems to be the only thing that he is really interested. So you get the feeling that unless he's very good at hiding his power level, that he's not one of the strongest opponents, but he'll probably be quite good at games. As in terms of performances, you get the feeling that Melee might actually be the best one. But the Shiba, the Phoenix kid, seems to be pretty well rounded and can actually put you a struggle there.
Okay, I think I have. Yeah, I think that's it for me for the scene.
Yeah. I feel like probably in fiction, we've been traveling all day. It would be like this is like a good time to rest.
So retreat for the night and Kyo, why are you having a hard time sleeping? Why you keep turning around in your futon?
Hmm. Hmm. I think Kyo is just like wondering maybe he should sneak on the outside and just observe the others, but he like feels like this is like kind of honest competition, and that he should behave honorably here. And yeah, the general feeling of like strong competition. I think he might be like a little bit scared of like competition, and it's like growing. Like, okay, so the next day I have to perform in this areas where he knows he almost didn't have any training at all. So I think simple being stressed.
So, Yoshi, you wake up in the middle of the night and you can see that Itoshi is still asleep on his side of the room, hardly under the linens, as he seems to be really exhausted because, or maybe he drank a bit too much. But you wake up and initially you're not exactly aware why, but you see that the paper door to your room is slightly open, and you can feel both the cold wind outside and a light coming in, and there is a strange blue hue to the light.
Well, I guess I sit up and I get out of bed. I try not to wake up Hitoshi, and I investigate. I want to crack open the door and look around.
Yeah, you look around and you see two things. Well, you see one thing and you hear another. So for starters, you hear uh, on the room next door, Kyo turning around sleepless, and you see on the courtyard an elderly man sitting in front of a tea set.
Hello. Um, I try and get like a better view. Is there, like look around,
Yeah, the clouds part away and the moonlight strikes in his blue and emerald silk kimono, and he makes a gesture as if to invite you to share tea with him.
Uh, I sit down. I sit down and I see, you know, I pick up the cup and I drink.
Uh, the man seems a bit stern, but he moves it, and he raises a hand. Please, why don't you invite your friend so that we might do this properly?
So I sort of, I'm confused. I'm very confused. Um, but Yoshi stands up and he walks softly to Bayushi Kyo's door and just like raps on it, I guess.
I mean, Kia, what you gonna do? You are not exactly sleeping anyway.
Yeah, I will probably stand up, go to the door, open them. A little bit probably surprised to see Yoshi, and just like, yes, Yoshi. What is it?
You've been asked to tea.
I like probably maybe just see like over your shoulder or something, like tea ceremony in the middle of the night. That's unusual, but it's impolite to request such an order. Yeah, let's go.
So yeah, we sit down. We do the tea ceremony with this man. We'll try and learn more.
So, who is going to do the tea ceremony of you? It's going to be performance void.
Unless Yoshi jumps into mixing the tea, I think Bayushi, like, it's part of his training, like how to deliver this this properly on stage and otherwise. So he can do it definitely. Allow me to be the master of this of the ceremony. But in order to do it, I have to know all the participants. I already know Togashi-san, and then just like leave this place open for the man to say something.
My name is Doji Satsume, Emerald Champion of Rokugan.
I think it's like very hard to not like have like a jaw drop over there. It's like a pleasure meeting you, Emerald Champion. Such a unique opportunity. Yes, let me. Like, this is like super distracting. Like, what? He was supposed to be dead. What? Yeah, you want me to roll some dice, or we keep some role playing?
Yeah, roll perform void first.
Perform Void. Oh my god, don't switch the tabs. My void is 2, my perform is 1, so let me use this fantastic bot. Black, black, white.
Okay, so you have an explosion. So an explosion means that you can roll an extra dice. The 10 is only 1, so you only need to keep 1 dice. You can keep up to 2.
Explosion is this weird symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, explosion is also on the black die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there any point for me to having more successes in this roll?
Actually, yes.
Like, what can I do with extra successes?
The more successes you get, the more you get approval from Satsuma, and the more information you're gonna get from here.
An explosion also counts as a success, yes?
Yes, and you get to roll another black dice.
Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to dump the middle one, I guess. So
yeah, so keep 1, 3. Good. Now you add black. Good. So you have 2 successes and 2 opportunities. Now it's a void opportunity. So basically, you can spend this opportunity to sense something supernatural. You can also spend it to gain some insight in the nature of the universe or your own nature. You can establish a small detail, or you can reduce the difficulty of the next roll you do.
I think I definitely want to spend. I'm not sure if it's one or both of them to like get the feeling of this like weird situation of supernatural here because Kyo isn't sure is this Tsuma real? Is it a ghost? Is he still sleeping? Like, yeah, that's definitely so sounds like one opportunity or both.
Yeah, you can invest as much opportunity you want on that. And another thing that might be interest of you, another void use of opportunity, is because this is a social check, is to discern the objective of another character in the scene.
I'm just looking at this outline you left us opportunity reference. So learn another character's objective. That's really cool. And yeah. And where is this? And which opportunity is the one that allows me to like sense supernatural?
It's a general example of a void opportunity. I think that's from the core only.
I don't see it on the list, but
no, I don't think it's on the beginner box, but it's one of the options on the core.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to learn another character's objective, sense something about the supernatural, and then go with my 2 successes. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you're doing the tea ceremony, you start to feel a shield on your spine as you notice the small details, like for example, how there seems to be no flow of blood, and the Satsume's the way that the light reflects on him seems to be slightly offside, and he is not breathing. So you get the feeling that this is some sort of ghost or apparition of some sort that has visited you. And you know that ghosts can be quite critical about their message, but you get the feeling to the way that he carefully uh, looks at your purposeful fingers as you manage through the steps of the tea ceremony,
Mhm.
that he seems to want something from you. And to be precise, you get the feeling that they want you to do something related to his family, but for some reason they are appearing for total strangers. Uh, and as you're done with the tea ceremony,
Mhm.
you can see Satsumi leaning and grabbing a cup, and you can see the subtlest hint of a smile as he takes a whiff of the tea. Masterfully done by Yushi-san. I'm grateful for your offer.
Thank you, Doji-sama. Such a nice words to hear from you.
Yeah, it brightens my heart to see. And you see that his words are polite, but do not reach his face or expression. That remains as stern as ever.
Mhm.
It brightens my heart to see such talented young samurai from the different clans of the empire.
I look at Togashi. What is your character like showing? Are you like also surprised over here, or are you like feeling cool?
I mean, Yoshi is very. I mean, I guess he's sort of used to like weird rituals happening, having spent his entire life in a monastery. But I think this is still kind of a step over the line for him. You know, like it's interesting to wake up at 3 a.m. to have a tea ceremony bathed in a soft blue glow in a hallway.
Mhm.
You know, so I can't imagine that he is taking things all too well. You know, he's probably just kind of desperately trying to pretend that he's not freaking out about all of this.
Yeah, I equally feel that Kyo is like 2 steps away from just like running away, but the samurai should like cover their emotions. So he takes a breath, and speaking of pleasure, Doji-sama, to what do we owe the honor of your visit to us just before the tournament?
Well, I wish to visit my presence until people that are intertwined with the fate of my office. And it seems the machinations of heavens have brought me to you. It seems that you are the only people that are able to commune with me and partake on this ceremony. I like to think that there is a bigger purpose for that.
And what this purpose might be?
I want to ensure that Itoshi, the young mantis samurai that is taking part on this competition, survives the Topaz Championship. And I want to see that he does not only survives, he becomes a samurai worthy of his father.
Who was his father?
To that, Satsume smiles. The fallen blossom can never return to the bow, yet all can see from whence it came.
Okay.
Tango.
You said that we need to protect him from dying in the tournament. Is someone out to kill Hitoshi?
Certainly, you must find his entire situation unusual.
Well, certainly, but not all unusual people have assassins after them.
Indeed, but there are things even more dangerous than that. There are words that once said that can never be called back, and there are wounds that once delivered they'll never heal. I think that either there might be risks for his survival or not. I think he is in danger, and I think that someone is orchestrating his failure.
Thank you, Dodi-sama, for relaying, for sharing with us this important information. There are definitely people who may behave dishonorably about this tournament. I think it's only honorable of us to see to your wish and do what I can speak only for myself, and do what I can to heed your wish, to fulfill your wish.
Yes, indeed. If you, Emerald Champion, think that there is danger here and there is dishonor here, then I will do my best to prevent that from happening.
So you say that, and Satsumi empties a teacup and nods at you. You have my thanks. May Lady Doji favor you with eloquence and courage in your task ahead. And with that, he departs. And as you reach out to put away the tea, you notice that the teapot is cold, and the cup that your guest was using is still filled to the brim with tea, now cold.
Hmm.
But we still find ourselves like in this like courtyard, yes?
Yeah, it seems that any signs of his presence are gone.
Curious. Uh, Yoshi stands there, and he, as he stands in this courtyard with this cold cup of tea in front of him, um, I think he just sort of walks back to his room in a daze, and falls asleep, hoping that was all just a dream.
Okay, so why don't we take a 10 minutes break and come back with the first day of the tournament?
Cool.
All right.
See you in 10. So you wake up next morning surprisingly refreshed. Uh, Even you, kid, that you were having such trouble sleeping. So I thought you got one strife. Yeah, all strife is cleared. As you wake up re-energized, and you still have a bit of time before going to the tournament grounds in front of the Kakita Academy. So, what do each of you do before meeting for the competition?
Um, what are our options? I guess.
There is a map on the. Let me
Yeah.
get the link.
I'm looking.
Okay,
I see. Uh,
Where's map?
gonna link you to the chat. Wait. There is a map of the village. So yeah, most of the other members of the competition, they have left to do something out in town, except Itoshi that is still hanging around the inn.
I would like to go and pray at the Shrine to the Fortunes.
Yeah, and I think Kia will definitely talk to Itoshi.
Okay, let's resolve the Itoshi first. So Itoshi seems to have finished his meal and seems to be sitting around nervous, flexing his muscles, rotating his shoulder, looking to the courtyard, pacing around. He seems to be buying time until the event, but
Is Itoshi his name or is it his family name?
Itoshi, the Mantis clan has no family names. Instead, each of them is named after the ship they are on.
So people call them like Mantis, and then the first name.
Yeah, they only call them by the first name, which is very aggravating for them.
So yeah, let's make it interesting. Like how to address them, not to aggravate them.
I mean, I think there is no way around. Yeah, it's just that you had to make it clear that it's not intentional.
Okay. I suppose I would then kind of like also finish my meal and just like pretend maybe to do like a warm up before the tournament and say, Itoshi-san, it's not common to see members of your clan at this tournament. I'm really glad to see you here. Have you traveled far? Is it your first visit to the mainland?
Indeed, I grew up on a boat off the coast, and my mother passed away recently. That's when I got on top of the ships, and it was I was actually invited. I got a letter delivered to me about the invitation last fall. It was brought by a Mia Herald on behalf of someone of imperial authority, and the mon on the letter, actually it was the same of your family.
Of Bayushi.
Yes.
Oh, that's really interesting. And he will like politely steer the conversation into his father. Please accept my condolences on the death of your mother. It must be hard to only have your father. Just like trying to just like see the response because someone said about being a mighty father or something. So
I never met my father, actually. I was raised by our family at large. So at least I got support even afterwards, even if I still miss her deeply. But yeah, I never happened to meet my father.
please accept my apology. I didn't mean to prey on such family matters.
No, it's just the life of samurai, you know. We often need to grow up faster because we lose our parents either to the sea or to war. It's very common among, at least among the mantis, for children to have grow a bit faster.
Well, let's maybe start going to the festival grounds just to make sure neither of us is late.
Yeah, that would be wise. And he seems a bit calmed down, even if a bit still nervous. So, Yoshi, you approach the Temple to the Fortunes, and you can see that the festival is the strongest here. And you can see pretty early people visiting the temple and paying offerings. And you see that there are two of the contestants here. You see the nervous lion going around and praying, and you can see the tall and brave phoenix boy observing, trying to see if the lion is going to start trouble. But they seem to be enjoying themselves, shaking around, checking for talismans and things that might give them lucky for the festival.
Yeah. I think that Yoshi just wants to, make an offering and try his best before he starts actually competing.
Hmm. So, do you make an offering to a fortune in particular, or?
Well, I don't know what the fortunes are specifically. Is there like a list or?
Yeah, they are called the thousand fortunes for a reason. Basically, whatever you want, it's bound to there be a fortune that handles it.
All right, the fortune of victory, let's say.
Yeah, victory through strength or victory on a more abstract sense.
I would say more abstract.
So, you go to a small shrine to. This fortune was an ascended mortal that has been elevated to fortune by imperial decree somewhere during the 5th century. Uh, what clan did they belong to in life? And what feat they accomplished that earned them this elevation?
Let's say I think that they were Crab Clan. I think that they were a soldier on the wall, and they defended their outpost successfully from Shadowlands creatures.
Yeah, it's not a well tended shrine other than members of the Crab clan. So you are surprised to see Yasuke Jun actually here, and he seems to be more serious than usual. He's no longer goofing around like he was the previous day.
Yoshi acknowledges him, but they're both at this shrine for a reason. So I don't think that they would want to like strike up a conversation.
Yeah, he finishes prayers. He hangs out a talisman on the and a small money donation on the shrine and leaves. And yeah, he's waiting for you outside.
Well, I guess when I leave, I encounter him then.
Yeah, he turns to you and he's scratching his head, already balding despite his young age, and it's like, I kind of need all the help I can get. I was sent here because our clan never does very well on these things. So I'm honestly, I don't think I'm gonna even pass. I'm not even going to qualify, honestly. At least I hope to get as many friends and connections as possible. And he has a faint smile.
Well, I don't know how useful a friend I'll be up north, but it is always good to meet people from other clans and families.
Well, a friend is a friend, even at distance. We all work together in one way or another, even if we don't realize. Oh God! Now I'm sounding like the dragon.
Indeed, we like to value humanity, but I have faith that you will pass this trial and become a true samurai.
Well, at least we can do our best, and they cannot fault us for that.
Indeed.
So, how about we go on and do our best, and then we meet up for drinks? I'm paying.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Good. So we're gonna get Kakita Academy. So uh, there is this large lake in front of the dwelling academy, after which there is the sandy courtyard and training field. And the rising sun is reflecting on the lake, giving the entire place a golden hue. Uh, Sitting on top of the preceding judges, most of the Crane clan, but also a few judges from the different great clans, is Kakita Toshimoku, the teacher of the Dwelling Academy, and as you know, brother-in-law of the now dead Doji Satsume. And he's old, but he seems still pretty fit and muscled and well taken care for his age. And he goes around and he introduces the two stars of the last year. So the last year Topaz Championship, which is a dragon of the Kitsuki family, and he introduces her as Kitsuki Yukimi, that is training to become an Emerald Magistrate, and runner-up Bayushi Sugai, which did pretty well but ended up falling to Yukimi's blade on the last day of the tournament. And a priest clad in white comes around and blesses every contestant and starts preparing you for the ceremony. So anything you want to do before the challenge proper start?
Is there an opportunity to talk with Bayoshi Sugai?
Yeah, you can approach Yoshisugai as you are moving towards the first competition.
Yes, I would definitely do. It's my cousin. Sugai-sama, such a pleasure to see you here.
Ah, I see they doubled the numbers after my failure last year. It seems the leadership is not satisfied with my efforts.
I merely meant that it is pleasure to see you here. And indeed, speaking of the tournament, I wanted to ask if you have any key point advice on how I can bring the clan even more honor by winning this year.
Well, the best way you can do is obliterate anyone that seems remotely skilled with a blade before the final competition. Eliminate them before they get even a chance to wield the sword against you. Otherwise, even if you are a great duelist, you will be tired by the time you end up climbing your way atop the defeated enemies.
That's very wise and cunning answer, Sugai-sama. Thank you, and I will keep it close to my heart. And I will bow and go to the first competition.
Yeah, he does not bow as respectful as he should, but he seems to have his doubts about your capacity. Who does not have is Yukimi. So the current Topaz champion smiles openly and waves at you as she sees you going back to your place, as I'm cheering you on.
Okay, I will definitely show her much respect, bow as deeply as appropriately possible, as appropriately needed, and yeah, and keep going. Maybe I'll do to her on the break. Who knows? We'll see.
You need to make 8 points per competition at the end of the second day of the competition. If you don't get at least 8 points, you will not graduate and you will not be invited for the final duel day. You can get points on different ways. So each of the competitions, there is a skill that is going to be trained. So if you get the minimum successes that you performed well, you get 1 point. Each of the judges has a bias. So each of them has a preference for for an example approach, an element that they think fits particularly well for what they are testing you. So if you if you win and you win on the way that the judges are biased for, you're gonna get an extra point. And the other way you can get points is if you are the winner of that event. If you get more successes than any of the other contestants, you are declared the winner and you get an extra point. So if you are particularly well in 2 or 3 events, you can easily make to the final one. But you're going to have plenty of opportunities to prove yourself. And the first one is going to be Tsuma. So you are taken to one of the sacred precincts in which you're going to be doing traditional wrestling. So a priest draws a circle and in the sand and marks it with a rope and is going blessing the different parts in which you are set. And overseeing this is a crab samurai, Hidegoharu. And with advice to each of you, he says, remember, in Sumai, as in life, a steady stance creates a solid foundation for success. So you're gonna have to get 2 successes on martial arts unarmed to succeed. And you can choose any ring, but the judge is biased towards one in particular, which I cannot tell you more than that cryptic way, which it is. Also, you can pick which of the others you are facing off against.
Cool. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Either works. I can go.
Okay, so any preference for an opponent?
Not. I mean, how? Not specifically. No.
Okay, so you are set up against the Phoenix boy. And the boy, because you have not talked directly, he introduces himself as Shiba Toya. And he bows to you and takes a steady stance, trying to see if they can win against someone that, for all rumors, is supposed to be quite skilled at this. So, which ring are you choosing?
I'm going to do Earth Ring.
Okay, go ahead.
So. Okay, so that is, I have 2 successes, 2 opportunities. One of those successes is an exploding success.
Yeah, you need to keep 3 dice.
Yeah, so I will keep I will keep 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And I'm gonna add another black.
Yeah. For that explosion.
Yeah. Which is, what is that? That is another opportunity.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to keep. You can choose or not to keep exploded dice.
Yeah.
So if you don't want the excess strife.
So I'm going to keep the white opportunity and then the 2 black strife and successes.
Yeah. So okay. So you get 2 successes and 2 strife and earth
and 1 opportunity.
Yeah. So you can use it to decrease 1 strife, or you can use to it's martial. So yeah, not very useful here in this competition. Maybe you can memorize a small detail about the scene or something.
I'm just going to use it to erase 1 of the strife.
Okay. Okay. And you have 2 successes with the Earth approach. And how about Kaio? Who is Kaio facing?
I'm going to take my cousin advice to the heart, and I think I'm going to be facing against the Kakita. Her name, I don't remember.
Yeah, I did not say it. So she introduces herself as Kakita Rico, and she seems to be taking a good measure of you, and they seem confident considering your small size. So, which approach are you going to use to beat her?
Yeah. So since we are doing some wrestling, yes, it's a sumo. We will see Mayoshi Kia probably getting like very bad looks from the judge because he is going with. I'm going to go with air, and I'm going to go completely ultimately with cunning. I think I am purposefully positioning myself to be at the very super edge of the ring, and then just as she will be coming to me, I will like try to like slide between as she's coming, like dodge in a way that she will fall off the ring. It's like you know,
using air, right?
What?
You are using air.
Yes, I'm using air. I'm using cunning. I want to I'm not looking into embarrass her, but I'm going to be very agile, and then at the last moment try to like knock her off balance and just like push her off the ring, because hey, if she goes off the ring, she loses. Yes.
Yeah, so let's see if that works. So you're gonna be rolling martial arts unarmed with air ring.
Yeah, well, only black die for me, because hey, I don't have anything.
I think to remember, you each have void points to use. So at any point you can use them to get one extra black dice.
And do you have 2 void points or 1?
You have 2 void points. Well, if you have void 2. I think not everyone has void 2.
No, both of us have void 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually leaning toward, and I try to showcase how I'll be using my advantage to reroll dice, because I'm like sort of like dancing on the edge, and then trying to like knock her off. And my advantage is perform sinuous dances or grappling maneuvers Otherwood wins to attempt. So maybe I actually have to do a grappling maneuver. So yeah, while I'm hanging off at the edge, I will just like, she's coming, I will just like throw myself around her and just like use my weight to like throw her off the ring.
Okay.
Try to angle hard to use this cool advantage.
Yeah,
why
that's
not?
a good use of your advantage. So you're gonna roll with your advantage. So because of your advantage, you can reroll up to 2 dice. Which you have pretty good dice, to be honest. So
yeah, none of them is actually like really bad.
yeah, but you can get the success on the opportunity.
What? Excuse me?
You can get an additional success on the opportunity.
What do you mean? Are you suggesting to reroll some?
Yeah, if you reroll the first one, because it's an opportunity, you can still get lucky and get an explosion or a success. And then you have 3 successes. And then you actually, not only you get good chances of winning the bout, you have good chances of being the best on the event.
Okay, was the command to reroll, or what is it? Reroll.
Yeah, it's reroll and you put the number.
Is it worth rerolling success with a strife or not?
No, because you get a lot of strifes on the black dice.
Okay, so reroll 1.
See, this is what I'm talking about. So you get 3 strife, but you get 3 successes. So tell us how you absolutely disarm her and quickly throw her out.
Yeah, I think from what I heard and from what we see from her, she's like coming at it from like just like a pure sumo fighter. They probably maybe have it at school. I don't. I just like dance around on the edge. She's coming at me. I throw myself at her, grapple around her, and then use my weight to just like throw her off the ring while I'm staying and looking cool, landing on like a 3-point landing just at the edge, and then just like look cautiously at the judge, and then bowing to her. Yeah, this grapple was like really cool.
Yeah, the judge is not particularly impressed and starts arguing with the other crane judges, and afterwards he comes out and says, "The winner of the Tsuma competition is Bayushi Kiyo." And second place, Bayushi Mai. Yasuki Jun and Kitsu Tsubasa have no marks on this match. And so you get 2 points, Yoshi, because you succeeded and you won your match. And at the same time, you also you pander to the bias of the judge. And by Yushiki, you won the best, so you get an additional point, and you won your match, so you get 2 points total. So both of you are doing pretty well on the first event.
All right.
Yeah. Next,
So talking about the strive, because I already almost full.
really,
is there any way?
with 3?
Well, my composure is only 4, so I'm almost full. Not yet full, but almost full. I don't remember. I'm sorry. The ways to drop some strife. I know that later on I'll have to unmask myself, and that will be quite cool. But anything else I can do?
Yes, you can spend opportunities to clear strife.
Okay, so probably I'll. Anything else? To only unmask and or.
There is an action that you can take when you are above half, which releases your 1 strife, but it's not very efficient. Basically, you are trading actions to clear strife, and there are certain techniques that certain people have that can help you with that.
Okay, I don't have any of them, so yeah, let's keep going. It will be fun.
Yeah, so maybe next on one of these events, you're probably gonna want to get a lot of opportunities instead of going for the win.
I think I'll have to unmask first, but we will see. It will be fun.
Yeah, unmask is always more interesting. The next event is heraldry, and
Heraldry.
you are taken into a small gallery on the Kakita Dojo, and you're presented with 5 pieces of heraldry of increased difficulty. The mon of a great clan, a family within a great clan, a minor clan, an individual of great status and renown, and a relatively minor samurai. And you are supposed to be able to identify at least 4 or give partial responses to all of them to be proven proofiness. So you need to get 2 successes on a culture check. And the judge is Moshi Murashiji of the Crane Clan. And when instructing you to the test, he says, consider that the art design of each heraldic emblement contains clues as to its origin that can be unlocked with careful study. So who wants to go first and what they want to try for their approach?
Pavel, you went. I went first the last time. Would you like to go first?
Sure. I'm just looking at the suggestions for my rings. Theorize approach, analyze approach, survey, recall. I'm trying to guess what is my approach. How would it look in the fiction? Actually, not only which one I'll pick. It's really hard to put some fiction on those approaches.
Yeah, it can be pretty hard because you have to go through the class of the skill, then you have to get the ring, and you have to find the one that matches. It's quite tricky.
Okay, I think I'm going to again lean on the ring because I like the description in the core rulebook, analyze approach. So I think we see Kyo like really carefully approach all those emblems and just like try to match what he knows, like piece by piece, rather than just trying to observe everything. So maybe he sees like, oh, this is like this great river. So which provinces have the rivers? Oh yeah, this province, and he like tries to like judge from guess, try to find the correct answers, but like trying to analyze the emblem, think of it, put it into like geographical map. So this clan was this, so maybe this one was this. Yes, he's thinking about it, theorizing. This time I surprisingly have culture, so I'm going to roll 4 dice total.
Good.
Roll white, black, black, black. So you said we need 2 successes.
Yes.
So you have 2 successes.
Yeah, but there's also strife in there.
That is a good point.
You need to take it. It's. I said I'm going to have. Yeah,
Well,
like
you
this
can-
character. This
you,
character has so small composure.
You can re-roll that explosive.
Add black.
Whoa, do you keep the new one or not? I mean, you have an opportunity, so you can annul one of the strife. So if you don't keep the new one, so you just get enough to pass, but you don't do better.
Yeah, I think I'll leave the unmasking for something more tragic than just looking at emblems. So I'm going to take the. I'm only going to take the other die, and I'm going to cancel the strife. So.
So
Yeah.
2 successes with an air approach.
Yeah.
How about Yoshi?
Yoshi is not a heraldic person, but he does actually have the advantage keen sight. And I would like to take the water ring because it is perceptive, right? And so I would like to be, very, very perceptive, looking for context clues in the minutia of these sigils.
I think that could work with water and air. I think both of those you could apply the advantage.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with water.
Okay, so go with water and you're going to have the advantage. So you're going to get 2 rerolls.
Yes, so roll 2 black dice. So I'm going to re-roll the second one. Sorry. And I am going to take a risk here. And I'm going to re-roll that again.
First one.
I'm going to re-roll so I get 2 re-rolls. I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay.
And pray for an explosive, which is a risk, but it's one that I want to take. Well, that was a stupid thing that I did.
Good thing is that you don't get strife. Or actually, no. There is an additional use on this context, is that if you lose one opportunity, even if you fail, you manage to try close enough that you actually don't get the sneer of the judges. So you can also downplay the failure.
Okay. So, all right. I suppose in that case that, yeah, I have to take them all. And I'm looking, and I think I get the major. I get a couple of them, but not the 4 that I need. But I actually do get the random samurai sigil, which is like weirdly impressive, and I think that the judge is impressed by that enough to not be like totally disappointed.
Yeah, the judges are quite impressive because with your queen sense, you actually get more than just identifying the samurai. You also manage to tell key details of the history of that samurai just from the heraldry, and because of your background, this feat makes the judges look positively on you, so they don't censor you for that. So, in terms of points, the winner of this contest it was the Kitsu. So Kitsu Tsubasa, his name, as you hear the judge praise, and it seems that the lion he was pretty good and not only managed to name every single one of the heralds. He also managed to tell some details about the ancestry of everyone involved. And Itoshi failed this one and does not get any points here. And he's not alone. It seems that the Moto seems to be having problems interpreting these Rokugani symbols and also failed to make points. So Yoshi did not get any points, but did not get a reproach, and Kiyo managed to get 1 point for succeeding and 1 point for pandering to the right approach. So you now have 2 points for Yoshi, 4 points for Kiyo. So Kiyo is halfway through qualifying. Next event will probably be harder for Kiyo because it's athletics. So
beautiful.
Yeah, so you leave the Kit Academy proper and you go to a grove nearby where there seems to be an obstacle courses that has been stepped up, starting from one of the gardens, going through the forest, and ending up in another of the gardens. So the competition is judged by another of the crane. This time it's Kakita Naomori, and he instructs you. The best way to overcome the obstacles of your fate is being flexible enough to adapt to them. Okay, so who is going and how they are going to approach it? You need to get 2 successes on a fitness check to pass.
Okay.
And just for fiction, are we all like racing together or individually?
You are all racing together.
Cool.
I guess I'll go. So I do actually have fitness. I'm going to do water as my approach. Again, like flexible, rolling with the punches, I think is sort of what I want to be aiming for here.
Remember, you have a void point if you need.
Yeah. I don't think I should. I'm good at fitness, so I'm going to roll for here. And that is 2 explosive successes and an opportunity.
I guess I know which ones you are going to keep.
Well, yeah. I think I do know which one I'm going to keep. I'm going to re-roll. Well, I'm going to add, I guess, 2 more white dice to see how that pans out. So that's 3 successes, which I am going to keep all of. So and I get 3 success and 2 strife.
Oof. How are you doing on strife?
I'm doing actually very well. I only have 3 strife, and my composure is 10.
Ooh, That's good. The dragon can give his emotions on check.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a monk. I'm very solemn.
yeah, so you have 3 successes. And next is going to be Bayushikio. And what is your approach?
I think this time we'll see. Like, people might think that this is not his jam, but come on, he's turning to be an actor, and the name is Shinobi. I forgot Shinobi. So come on, that's his jam. He's going to go at it with fire directly as possible. And I think somewhere through the obstacle course, we see that there are some like narrow spaces that says that others avoid, but like maybe they like give shortcuts, and we see just like Kyo just like go like directly through them. He just like jumps. He like sometimes somehow manages to squeeze through these narrow spaces to get to the advantage and to use this shortcuts. Again, I'm leaning on my advantage because I think advantage is not limited. Yes, so I can fit through narrow spaces.
Yeah, that makes sense considering the type of obstacles on these cars.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm going at this like as directly as possible. I wonder if I have some spare opportunities. Do I have to speak something specific to like be able to, for example, help or support Itoshi? Do I need like specific approach, or can I just like spend successes or opportunities to help him as well?
Opportunities to help him.
Cool. We will see what I roll. So I am rolling. Gosh. Okay. Here's my character. 3 black and 1 white.
And you have 2 rerolls.
Yes. White, black.
Oh.
That's some poor rolling on my part. Luckily, we have some advantage for using the shortcuts. I think I'm going to obviously reroll blanks.
Yeah, roll the blanks. That's hard. You only need to keep 3.
Well, I'm not even aiming at trying to beat Togashi. He's too good at this. I'm just like trying to succeed. And you said I need 2 successes to succeed myself?
Yeah. And you can get then the advantage and clear the strife. So you don't freak out yet.
I really like to freak out because hell, why not? It's going to be so fun because I'm distractedly jiggling and gesturing. It's going to be so bad for me, but it's fun. So I wonder, can I use this opportunity to help Itoshi, or to just like, does he need help in this competition? How is he doing?
Doing pretty well. He's doing a bit better than you, but not fantastically. I mean, he's pretty much on 3rd place, at least this point. So he's just lagging behind the Moto and Yoshi.
Is there... So fire approach allows me to inflict strife on another character, and NPCs also take strife?
Yeah, the NPCs also can take strifes. So you can give strife to the Moto, for example.
Yeah, I'm actually like curious, who except the Kakita looks like they're like proper Bushi, proper fighter with the sword?
I mean, let's see, the Shiba, the Minamoto, the Kakita, Meilin, and yeah, those are the best fighters with the sword. These are probably the best duelists too.
Okay, okay. Minamoto was from which clan?
Dragon.
And the first one you mentioned?
The Shiba from the Phoenix clan.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to spend my opportunity to inflict 2 strife on him. And the way it looks, he also wanted to go through this narrow passage that I was going, but I just went through this narrow passage in a way that I pushed him off, and he fell off and had to regain his speed again. So probably this stressed him out a little bit. So this is real competition, and wow, so much talking. So we see this I'm blocking his way, and this stresses him out. I have 2 successes and my strife, which pushes me to my limit of composure.
Good, because you are only compromised when it goes over. So you're very, very close. Your emotional status is.
But I cannot do something while I'm right now. I have to have some disadvantage. I cannot keep some dice, or how does it work?
Once you are compromised, which is not yet, it's once you go over, you cannot keep any dice that has a strife symbol.
Oh.
Okay.
And so you have to unmask or decrease strife somehow to clear that.
So I think it makes sense to unmask at the end of this tournament.
You must be compromised already to unmask.
Okay. God damn it. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, unmask would be just something that you could control when you do. Well, you can still control, but you still need to get through past the threshold. So you are very effective because you are just sprinting on what is supposed to be pretty much a fitness competition, and you just sprint past in front of the Shiba, and you really annoy him, and he just goes splash into the mud, and he cannot get his breathing right after that. He's just too angry. He does not find his center, and he does not manage to find to score a point at all on this competition. So your approach was fire, right?
Yes, my approach was fire.
So the winner is because it did not mess up with her. It's going to be the motto, and then it's going to be Yoshi, followed by Hinata, the Mirumoto, and Itoshi almost at the same time. And everyone but the Shiba seems to be doing enough to pass, or so you think. Yoshi, you get 2 points, and Kyo get 1 point.
Yep.
But despite doing pretty well, the Crane judge does not give a point to Itoshi. He fails both Itoshi and the Shiba. Very strange, because again, Hinata did just as well, and for all points, he did clearly well, better than you did, Kyo, and they decked his point.
Wow. Is there any? Is it so you said he did better than Kyo in this competition?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think unless Yoshi, you wanna do something? I think about it, or should I?
Yoshi is not particularly skilled at social situations. You know, if you want to talk to the judge, feel free, but the champion of my clan had a reason for sending me here, and if I dishonor one of the judges, then I don't know if that reason will be secure.
Sure. Yeah, I think Kyo seeing this announcement, he definitely goes and talks with the judges. Is it only one judge, or are there more? Is it a leading judge?
There's a lady judge, which is Kakita Naomori.
So there's only one judge, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we see Kyo. Despite earlier, before this competition, he looked pristine and very well dressed because he knows how to dress properly. He has points in design, but now he like full of mud and everything and sweat. But he like anyway approaches the judge, bows deeply, and says, Kakita-sama, I've noticed that the participant of the tournament that had better time than I have did not score a point. I was wondering if there was an additional fail condition, if I can inquire.
The judge seems a bit taken aback that this is even being contested and says, no, that should be the only criteria. I'm sure that there must have been some error in communication. I'll see that is properly taken down.
Thank you, Kakita-sama. I was just thank you. And now just like kind of walk away, but see if he actually does anything. Does he goes and correct the point for Itachi, or I don't see it because like what's the situation there?
Yeah, you see him correcting it, but afterwards he seems to go to the other crane judges and he seems to be chatting, and they seem to be looking on your direction as you move to the next event.
Of course.
Horseback riding.
Of course.
So this competition, thankfully, does not have a crane judge, and it's going to be judged by Utaku Oishi of the Unicorn Clan. And the competition is that you have to be riding a horse. That's the worst part. And you're going to have to run across a field, get a flag, turn the flag around, and then use the flag as a spear to catch rings off the floor. And the good thing is basically the minimum to pass is not to get any rings, it's to do this without falling off your horse. So all you need is to get a TN1 survival check.
Okay.
And the advice that the Battle Maiden tells you is, to tame a steed, you must be as fierce and bold as the horse. Good luck. So who goes first and which approach?
Would you like to, or should I?
I can go. We can be swapping who goes first. Yeah, I think. I wonder if Kyo even had an opportunity to ride a horse. He must have. Yes, like everyone is like had some basic training. But I think for actors, like the least priority possible. So
probably it was Rokugani Pony.
Yeah,
rather
exactly.
than actual horses. So this might be the first time on a real horse.
Oh, so the unicorn provided the real horses for this competition.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think like we see like Kyo just like sees like the real horse for the first time. It's like, oh, how am I to even ride on it? But he managed just to like collect himself and it's like, whew, nothing I cannot do. Yeah, I think. I think I'm going to go at it. We see Kyo and he thinks, well, let's let's get this thing done quickly and hard. So I think we see him. He just like doesn't like get familiar with his horse. He like we see him like probably like struggles a bit to get in the saddle at first, but then once he's there, he just like goes with the fire and goes at it as directly as possible. Just like spins the horse to. I don't think he goes into the maximum speed is like because the horse can run or the horse can gallop. I think he doesn't go for the gallop. It's like, oh, no, let's not go there. But he like spins the horse really fast. He tries to be the fastest. So yeah, he goes at it directly, I would say. So fire. And you said that this is to run somewhere, grab some pole and hit something on the way back?
No, harder. You have to get some rings and hook them up.
What do you mean by get some rings and hook them up?
You have rings that are attached to the floor,
Yeah.
and you need to pull them out of the ground as you are driving by. That's why the challenge is not to fall like doing that.
Okay. Yeah. I think I will just like try to do it as easy as possible. Yeah. Let's roll with this.
So what are you using?
Fire. Black.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Fire. So can I go? So now that I'm at 4 strife, can I take both the dice with strife, or can I take none of them?
After the dice resolves, so you can take both of them, because when you take them, you are still safe.
Okay. Cool. And this skill survival is in trait. Add kept result next check and make with another skill. I'm looking at the opportunity examples.
Yeah, fire's opportunities are more about screwing up other people.
Well, actually, yeah.
Or being very flashy, which can also be fun.
Yeah. So I think we do it one by one. There's probably like not much opportunity to screw up the others.
You can stress them out. For example, like if you are putting such a good show that the one that actually, is more probably to win, which is the unicorn, is upset and maybe makes mistakes, for example.
Yeah. I'm going. Yeah. So who is the representative of the unicorn?
The motto.
The motto. Yeah, I think I'm going to stress. Is it he or her?
It's her. Her name is Bat Bayar.
Motto Bat Bayar, yes? Yeah, I will write it down to remember. Motto Bat Bayar, unicorn competitor. Yeah, I think. But how would I inflict strife on her in this situation by showing
You
up?
need to get opportunities, so you need to get that explosion at least. I even have like one reroll. Yeah, I'm going to keep them all. So I'm going to why not add black.
Wow, 3 successes.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you straight up. You're gonna win this one by far. And you're gonna be extremely emotional. So why don't you take this description for a ride? Frame it to me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with just being super flashy. I think we see Kyo riding this horse, and he obviously struggles at first, but then, like, instead of just like hooking this ring up with some kind of like a pole, he just like leans to the side of the horse, just like holding the saddle, and just like grabs the ring with the hand, and like probably like everyone thinks that he has fallen off, but then he just like sits up and like shows that he has the ring, and and as you said, that on the way back we need to like put the rings on some point. So I think on his riding back, he just like throws the ring like casually and they land in the proper spot. So he just like definitely shows off.
Okay, so after this presently performance from a scorpion, how is Yoshi going to follow up that?
Not quite as well. I'm also going to do fire. I'm just trying to stay in, and if we want to tame the steed by being as brave as the steed, then that's what I'm going for. So,
Hey, go for it.
yes. So that is 1 white die and 2 black dice.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm to keep the 2 successes, and I will take those 2 strife.
Yeah. So you do pretty well, and you manage even to get a few rings. And the only ones that seem to fail are Itoshi, because Itoshi can barely even stand on the horse. You can see that this is the first time that he got into any type of horse. And the same goes for Mirumoti Nata. And knowing what you know about or suspect about her origins will also make sense that the peasant girl will not have many opportunities to ride a horse, especially in Dragonlance. Yeah, and against all odds and to much of Moto Bayar's frustration, Kyu completely overshadowed everyone and performed excellently. And yes, so Yoshi is going to get 2 points for both figuring out the approach and succeeding, and Kyu is going to get 3 points for guessing out the approach, succeeding, and being the front runner. So, but the problem is that you are now compromised. So until you get rid of compromised, you cannot keep any dice with the strife symbol on it.
How about we do it right here, like with like probably like everyone just like standing there, and the judge is reading the results, and so my unmasking is like distracting, jiggling, and gesturing. I think the emotions take better of Kyo, and he just like can't keep it to himself. Not about Itoshi, but about the older dragon. I forgot her name.
Mirumoti Nata.
Yeah, I think and I think he just like maybe like she takes part in the competition after Kyo, and when she's like returning with like, I don't know, maybe she fallen off or something. He just like standing like
Uh, you just see Hinata glaring at you, and she's gets out of the road and she starts still bleeding from her knee from the fall. She starts moving like you, and it's like watching which will be weird, like we'll think this, it's like seeing a small steam engine going towards you. Unless anyone tries to stop her, she's going to tussle with you.
Yeah, well, I think I'm like, I think
You're still giggling. You're
he was like trying to stop himself, but it's like too hard. She just did such a poor performance. He's trying not to comment on it verbally. So yeah, like, well, I'm exposed. What does she do to me?
So she grabs you by the rims of your kimono and she says, "Beg that you are not against me on the third day." And she throws you to the floor and she turns away.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious, like, would it be more, is it like more socially improper what I did or what she's doing?
How to say, she did not act properly, but you also did not act properly. And everyone is being nice by pretending it did not happen. But if people acknowledge, she'll be being punished, but so will have to be you. So everyone is kind of giving the side look, trying to be courteous and act as if this poor behavior did not happen.
Yeah, I wonder if Kia would try to save, to at least not get pushed into the mud, but like do some judo on her instead. I wonder what, because she's going to like push me into the mud, yes, or something.
Not mud. It's it's a beaten track, so she's just going to throw you into the dirt too, so that you get a bit of dust too.
Yeah, I think that's fair for me. Unmasking, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems that the nerves got a bit of glaze. But we are curiously, But Bayar seemed to be angry at you before, but she kind of shrugged and she gives you a nod as you get up. It seems that there's something relatable on your explosion and the outburst of emotions, and it seems that has earned her respect as long as your riding skills. So it seems that even if you provoked Hinata, your reaction to Hinata's outburst and your own relatable emotion for Batiar, this is actually the first time since she got from Unicorn Lands that she really got to experience something that she could feel empathy with. And you vanquishing that and then having this, like, yeah, I can understand that. Finally, something I can relate to. And on that moment, she gets this moment of empathy with you and is supporting you from the distance. So after that, we move to the last event of the day, end of our session. You are taken to the same gallery where you did the heraldry. And this time there is not a single judge, but a panel of 3 judges. So each of the judges will be taking turns asking you questions about etiquette, courtesy, or ceremony. And the contestants are graded on the conduct during the quests. So the questions range from deceptively simple, so for example, who gets the last cup in tea ceremony, to the excruciating specific. So if the Topaz champion meets an emerald magistrate at a bridge wide enough for only one samurai to cross, who must bow and defer to the other and let them pass. So you can use either culture or courtesy to answer these questions. And the difficulty is 2. And so the 3 judges are Shashuru Tomoe of the Scorpion, Doji Murashige of the Crane, and Ikoma Ikehata of the Lion Clan. And as they gather, they stand before you, and Tomoe speaks. I hope you recall the lessons of your parents well when comporting yourself as a samurai should. So who wants to go first and which approach?
I'll go. I'm going to do Earth Ring, which I don't think is the right one, but it is what I'm going to do. So Earth Ring is steady, grounded, and thorough. I think I'm gonna, so Yoshi, squares his feet and he plants in, and they're gonna ask him these questions, and he is going to try his best to keep his cool and just, reply honestly and truthfully.
Okay, so go ahead. Oh, good.
So, so that is 2 successes and an opportunity.
And you get to explode.
Yeah, I re-rolled to act as the explosion.
Okay, so you're
that was a blank.
Okay, do you want to keep all of them?
I am going to keep all of them, yeah.
Okay, so how are you going to use that opportunity?
So, okay, this is Earth approach. Actually, no, I'm not going to keep all of them. I'm only going to keep the successes. It's functionally the same. Yeah, so I'm just going to take the 2 successes.
Okay.
And the strife.
Okay. So, yeah. So you do pretty well. And next is Kyo, which now has no strife.
For the moment.
Yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. I'm considering going with Void or with Air. I'm just looking at what has more more fun opportunities. Nimaring, who will end the session. Yeah, I will go with Air. It's about cunning and graceful and precise. So I think as we see Kyo answering the question, he does try to provide us precise answers, and also so with the more tricky question, he reversed the question first to unwrap it and eliminate all the unnecessary bit, and says, yes, of course, this is the proper behavior for the situation. And yeah, I will go with Air rating because why not? It's fun. Roll, and I will use my skill. I have both culture and courtesy, but I think I'm going to show but I want to show more of a courtesy, like what is proper behavior in our culture, and so on. White, black, black, black. Do I have some successes over here? Oh, 2 successes.
Yeah.
Wow. Do I really want 3 opportunities? What is available over here?
You can only keep 3, remember.
Oh, because I can keep the ring.
Yeah, you can keep the ring.
Okay, so I will have... cool. Let's do keep 1, 3, and 4. I think this makes the most sense. So 2 successes, 1 strife, and 2 opportunities.
So successes for her, advantage for her. So you can maybe notice an interesting detail about the character in this scene. Or you can try to be subtle. I don't know why you'll try to be subtle answering questions. Or let's see, solution. You can learn the honor warrior status of a character if it is higher, lower, or equal to yours. Not much useful this scene, I'll say.
Can I pass those opportunities to Itoshi? To Itoshi, and phrase it that because there are only 3 judges, they can question only 3 people at the same time. So maybe we were sitting before and just talking and okay. So you ask me a question, I ask you a question, and I think that maybe we see that he doesn't know so much. So like give him more of the proper answers, how we should behave, because he's from the island. He doesn't know how we behave here. So kind of like trying to keep it as polite as possible, but trying to boost his result.
Yeah, as you know, as you are getting these tricky questions trying to mislead you, as you go back and forth digesting it on the process of you answer, you are actually simplifying them, and Itoshi is hearing this and it's finally clicking with him. Yeah. So okay, so Itoshi actually managed to pass this time because of that. And the only person that fails this one is because Itoshi passed when he was going to fail. So the only one that no, everyone passes this one. So to much delight of the judges, and actually Earth was the right approach. So Yoshi gets 2 points and Kyu gets 1 point. And I think with this, both of you are able to graduate, I think.
So I have 8, actually.
Yeah. I think with this point, you're going to have exactly 8. And that's the end.
Is it 8 that you need?
Yeah, you need 8 to be qualified for the 3rd day.
Oh, I thought it was 9.
No. Hitoshi only has 3.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to make it, buddy.
I'm trying to do my best.
I
will work on him once. By the way, are we keep playing for an extra hour, or are we finishing here?
I think we're finishing. We are. Okay. This is our time, I think.
Yeah. I will try to work on Itoshi next session and see maybe I can pull him through. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna end now and have a quick stars and wishes. Okay.